since I have one to talk about, let's do another show review. Um, I'm sitting here in the car outside while my daughter goes and does a tumbling class for an hour, and the drive is long enough that it doesn't make sense for me to go back and forth. So I'm just waiting here. The show I'm watching is I guess it's a sequel to Quantum Leap. I don't know if you watched the first Quantum Leap, but I think it was a good show. It was interesting. And it was on at a time when you didn't have streaming services and wasn't quite as easy to catch episodes you missed. So, like, if it wasn't a show you were really interested in that you made a lot of effort to see all of, I missed some episodes of the original Quantum Leap, a good number of them. But, neat concept for a show, and this sequel, called also Quantum Leap on Netflix, follows the next team of people to try and take on the project, and it talks about the previous person who actually, I don't even know if you as the listener know what the show is about, so I'll try and give a quick explanation of that. The idea is that there is a machine that can shift your body into a state of being possible with quantum mechanics, and drop your consciousness into another person's body, and it can be any time in the past. And the idea is that you would use this, or the idea of this project was to use this to correct mistakes of the past, to try and save some lives, of people that didn't deserve to die, to adjust the course of events so that a better outcome occurs, whatever. And they don't take on big things like assassinating Hitler, I don't think. I don't recall that being mentioned. It's more about like smaller events that could still fit into the real world. Like, they're not fully changing our history, so that the show could hypothetically exist in our world. And it's a good character-driven set of stories that are kind of episodic. Like, in the original, it was really just the person who was doing the leaping from one body to the next, trying eventually to figure out how to get himself back to his body in his original time. And there was a way for the technology they had to project a hologram in the past of another person that was in their original time and could give them information about the events, and basically help them have information they might need to do the right thing. So there's the leaper, who's actually physically there in someone else's body, and the guide, the hologram guide, that can pop up and answer questions and go back and do research, whatever. And it's an interesting setup for a TV show because of how episodic it is. There's not a lot of carryover from one episode to the next, except the idea that this person who's doing the leaping is trying to get home eventually, after they have completed their effort to right some wrongs. So the sequel that I'm watching now, since I hadn't really heard anything about it, it was just one of the suggestions that came up on Netflix, and I decided to give it a try. Didn't expect much from it, but I think it's pretty good. The show does a good job of establishing characters, of remaining true to the original, of tying in the original characters to this new show. And I like, too, that they gave us a little bit more in the way of the people that are left behind in the original time. So you do have a little bit more of a continuous story. They are struggling with things in their time as well, and we get to hear little bits and pieces about what happened from the original Quantum Leap. Hear a little bit about how things are gonna go. Or from the original. And they came up with a couple interesting challenges that cross from episode to episode. So while you have the episodic stories and the leaper trying to solve those problems, you also have a looming threat that comes from somewhere else that is kind of a cool idea. I also like how much depth they gave to the reoccurring characters and the different motivations, the different pieces of the puzzle that they have. Yeah, I think the writers of the show did a good job, and haven't actually looked into it to see if new ones are being made or if it's just the number of episodes that are there already. But I kind of hope that they're doing new episodes because I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So, if you were an original Quantum Leap fan, I do recommend it. If you're just someone who enjoys that type of I don't know what to call it. I mean, it's sci-fi, but the sci-fi is really just used to tell other stories. Sort of like a Doctor Who kind of thing, where the fact that he's time traveling and jumping around space with the TARDIS isn't as important to the episode as the story that is being told. And I think this Quantum Leap does a decent job of that too. So even if you're not into sci-fi, you might find yourself enjoying these stories. And yeah, I'm trying also not to say things that might diminish the experience for you. It's worth a shot. And it didn't take long for the show to grab me. I was interested by the first episode and just kept watching. Stayed up too late watching too many episodes. So, yeah. If you like shows like Doctor Who, if you like shows like, what else might be like it? Shows like Alias, where there are problems they're trying to solve from episode to episode. Shows like X-Files. I mean, there's a little bit more of a theme that was different from X-Files, but they were solving different problems each week. And for those of you too young to really know what I mean by each week, I guess there are still streaming platforms that occasionally release a show, one episode per week. That's just the way it was a long time ago. No one ever released a whole season at a time, and you couldn't binge watch anything. All right, anyway, Quantum Leap, Netflix, good show. I recommend it, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for listening.